It's Friday, September 16th. I'm buying some Airbnb 120 puts at 470. This is here on the 15-minute chart, and I'll show you in a second why all this consolidation and the fact we're breaking lower. It looks to be that there's targets down below, and I'm buying the puts here at the blue line where price is around 118 or so. And what we see here is a 2-down day. The ideal trade would have been, after you watch the price action, would have been after this first move down, a little pause that just kind of moved to the halfway point of that, and then that red bar down would have projected to those intraday lows, and those intraday lows then projected down to take out this target down here. So, or these two targets. So there was really a nice trade here to get short early if I would have caught it, but I wasn't really following the stock at the moment. But when I was kind of looking around the board at some of the weaker stocks today, this one popped up. And then when I analyzed it further, I saw that we came down to our targets here. And this would have been an area normally you'd broaden out, and then potentially, after broadening higher and broadening lower, you might want to reverse and start up. But once you see the pause here, that we're not going to reverse up and then we start down, that to me says there are targets lower. And what's developing here, you can see on the daily chart, there are these targets way down here in the 115, 114 area. But more importantly, on the weekly chart, I see a 2-up failure forming, where we're going to kind of close up, move to the upside here. We take out a bunch of targets up here, which is the broadening action, and now it looks like we're coming to the midway point of that prior week. Now, obviously, today's Friday. We're not going to have much time to get down to the lows. That if this was earlier in the week, you would be projecting down there. But I still think if we can close red on the week and start lower, that'll be a 2-down week into next week on Monday, which should start projecting to these lower levels. And I can see us easily broadening out below these lows down here, which is kind of in the the 110 area, let's say. So that's kind of what I'm playing. And maybe if everything is weak into the close, I wanted to look at some of the stocks that were really weak today. And there's a few sectors that are, some aren't as weak, but the SPY is definitely down big. So playing one of the weakest stocks with a pattern that should have broadened to that could have easily paused here and headed up, but instead is heading down, tells me we're heading to some of the lower targets if we can just close red today. Down in here. So let's see what happens by the end of the day. Maybe we'll get a good, trade here. And if it closes weak and a nice red bar, which, we got an hour and a half to go, then it's pretty high probability you're going to follow through a little bit, set off the 2-down week into Monday, and then project to those lows. So let's see what happens. But again, puts on Airbnb.